Alright guys, are we getting any closer to finishing this? Probably very unlikely. Are you guys going to stick it out with me? I'm hoping, and I'm hoping I can get through these questions quick enough. So here we have part 6 of On the Spot 6. 6. Here we go. Next question comes to us from Super Evil TF. He asks, on the spot, what's your least favorite character from Iron Man? And this kind of harks back to my previous question about Iron Man, and unfortunately I have to give you the same answer. I'm not a huge Iron Man fan, so I really have not followed the Iron Man stories, the cartoons. My boy Sean, hello again to you, sir. He's a bigger fan of Iron Man than I am, so I don't know, maybe he can answer it for me. But I've seen the cartoon of Iron Man, and I can tell you from the cartoon, Iron Man's got a very mediocre, in this reviewer's opinion, a mediocre array of rogues. Yes, I do like the Mandarin, and but I mean the other characters, like what Whirlwind, Crimson Dynamo, wasn't there one called Dread Knight? Is it Dread Knight? I don't know. They just, the designs are just kind of crappy. Oh, there's Whiplash as well. Grey Gargoyle. Was Grey Gargoyle one? I think Grey Gargoyle was one. I think Grey Gargoyle looks silly if you ask me, with a mustache and everything else. What's my least favorite? I would say design-wise, if I was to compare it to the cartoon that I would watch a couple episodes of, I think my least favorite Iron Man villain, or Iron Man character, and I'm going to go villain, I think, on this one. My least favorite Iron Man character villain is probably Grey Gargoyle. Just because I think he looks silly. I think he's got a cool ability, but I think just with the brush cut and the army cut, and he's got the mustache. I think he's got a cape too, doesn't he? Very silly looking character, if you ask me. And I'm sure there's some Iron Man fans that are throwing things at the computer right now in outrage, but oh well. Next question comes to us from Kazikis 1024. He says, on the spot, do you have any NECA Gears of War figures? Again, I hate to sound like a negative Nilly here, but again, I don't have any Gears of War figures. Certainly, if anybody would like to send me figures, hey, I'm always open for someone sending me figures. I'll be happy to review it. But unfortunately, joking aside, I don't have any Gears of War figures, and I don't actually even own an Xbox, so I have never played Gears of War. And again, probably now I have Xbox fans throwing things at their computer in outrage, but I only own really a PS3 and a Wii, and I've got all the older consoles, but I don't have an Xbox, so I've never played Gears of War. I've heard it's amazing, and I really like the gun that they use with the chainsaw base. But no, I've never played it. And so therefore I never went out of my way to pick up the figures. The figures do look very neat, though. Excuse me. The figures look very neat, though, and I've seen Sean Long's reviews of them, and they look really decent. Well, will I pick them up? I'm not quite sure, so I'm going to say maybe. I'm going to leave it at a maybe. He also sent a separate question from Kazikis 1024. On the spot, will you ever do customs or get figures from someone like One's Customs? I did a couple of customs back in the day when I was a wee lad. By wee lad, I mean like 4 years ago. I did actually do a custom figure of myself, and you're thinking, what a vain guy, he's making figures of himself. Well, actually, I made it for my wife. I think I was dating her at the time, and for Christmas, or actually no, sorry, it was for her birthday, I made a custom figure of her, and I put her in one of her outfits that she wears, a shirt and pants and everything. And I actually put it on a card, and I put her picture on it and everything else. And I made a figure of myself in one of the, or in the clothes that she liked, I guess that I always used to wear, that she always liked me in. I made both of those and I gave them to her. I don't know where the figure of I don't know where those two figures ended up, but I used to also do custom figures of Justice League characters. I used to make little Captain Atoms and stuff before Captain Atom was released as a figure. But second part of your question is, do you or would I ever get figures from someone like One's Customs? Again, just want to take an opportunity to give a shout out to One's Customs. As you know, I'm still trying to get him up to 1,000 subscribers. For now that we're in the Christmas season, you guys definitely should check out his custom 12-inch figure he did of Billy from the Silent Night, Deadly Night movie. A fantastic figure. Oh, you know what? If I was actually into 12-inch figures, with the cloth outfits and everything, I probably would have tried to bid on that character. But he does unbelievable work, and I know I always say the same thing and I sound like a broken record, but One's Customs, dude, you're awesome customizer. Maybe down the road I can hopefully I can buy a custom off him. If I do end up getting a custom off him, what I'll do is I'll do a review of it, and you guys can see for yourself how fantastic his work is. But One's Customs, awesome work. I'm so impressed by that guy. I could only wish that I could do customs like this guy. So hopefully that answered your question. Next question is from Old School 4091. He says, on the spot, what is your favorite color? Back in the day, my favorite color was orange when I was younger. Then I kind of moved on to green when I was going out with my girlfriend at the time. I think I was really into green. Then it was blue. I think I had a period where it was blue. I think most of all, I think I've always liked blue. Lately, though, my favorite colors have been black and gray. I really like gray. I don't know why, and you could probably tell that by the color scheme that I've got on my channel right now. Big fan of gray, like a nice dark gray, like this kind of color. So I would say right now my favorite colors are gray and probably black. He says, his other question is, what's the last great movie you've seen in theaters? Well, the last movie I saw in theaters was A Christmas Carol, and I thought that was fantastic. The last great movie I've seen in theaters, well, I saw G.I. Joe. I thought that was a great movie. But I think the last really good movie I've seen where I've really loved it was Star Trek, and I saw that, of course, during the summer. So that's probably the last great movie I've seen. And then, of course, I've seen other movies that were good, and I really enjoyed them. But I think Star Trek probably is the great movie I've seen last. What book or movie has made the greatest impact on you? Comics do count. That's an interesting question. And one question probably that I should have researched a little more before I answered it. What book has made the greatest impact on you? Well, again, I really don't read very many books. That's the thing. Yeah. Greatest impact on me, I would probably say maybe a book that's made the greatest impact on me when I was younger was probably Fantastic Mr. Fox, because I remember I read that book several times when I was younger. I don't know if it necessarily made an impact on me now, though. Trying to think of a good one. If you're going to include comics, and he said comics do count, I tell you one comic that's made a big impact on me was The Death of Superman. I remember I was at that perfect age when The Death of Superman came out, and I remember I remember the day that it came out, and I was in school, and my father actually worked near a comic store, and he actually went in. I think he stood in line before the comic store opened. He went in, and he bought me two number 75s in the black mourning bag that it came in with the bloodied S on the front. He bought me two of those, and I remember I didn't get it until Christmas time, and I forgot all about it. You know what? I think I asked for it when it was coming out, and then there was like a couple of months before Christmas, a couple of months after that he got it, and then Christmas time. And I opened it up, and he got me two, and he said, I bought you one so you could keep it in sealed bag, and I got you one so you could open it. And I remember opening it, and I was just amazed by it. I was just amazed by it because I had been collecting all the issues leading up to it. And it came with the armband, and it came with a really nice poster that I ended up putting on my wall, where it had all the DC heroes of DC heroes, and they were all carrying out the casket that had the S on it, and I just loved it. And I would say of all the comics, it probably had the greatest impact on my life. As sad as that sounds, because I just remember I have such great memories of that comic. So I would probably say Death of Superman, Superman number 75 probably was that book for me. What movie has had the greatest impact on me? Again, that one's a really tough one to answer, because I'm sure if I sit down and really think it over, I could probably come up with a better answer for you. But I would say right now, the only one I can really think of that really made a substantial impact on me was probably... I would probably say Superman. And only again because Superman came out around the time I was born, and I remember growing up watching that movie, and I loved it. And I know it's not it's not like a big philosophical movie with some big meaning behind it, but I would say from growing up with it, and the biggest memories I had relating to a movie, I'd probably say the original Richard Donner Superman probably had the biggest impact on me. As you can see, huge fan of Superman. I mean, Superman to me was the only hero when I was younger. I grew up, I had Superman cape, Superman Mego doll. So I mean, Superman really played a substantial role, I think, in my life growing up. So obviously, both the Death of Superman and the movie I have fond memories of. And his last question is, who do you think would win in a fight, Voltron or the Power Rangers Megazord? Well, I'm not a fan of Power Rangers, and I always thought when I watched Power Rangers that it was just a Voltron ripoff. I may or may not be right on that, but growing up, I loved Voltron, so I'm going to have to go Voltron in this one. Go Lion Force. Go. Plus, I mean, Voltron's got his blazing sword. I mean, that thing cuts through anything. Robeast, forget it. Forget it. Voltron is the man. And plus, I mean, he's got lion hands. What does the Power Rangers have? Yeah, they got hands, but Voltron's got lion hands. Gotta go Voltron on this one. I'm going to wrap this up here. So that was part 6 of On the Spot 6. How much more is there of this? I have no idea. But stay tuned, guys, for part 7. Part 7, where I continue reading your questions. And I'll see you guys then. Part 7!